Hello, this is my presentation of my behaviorist biography project on Dr. Carol Pilgrim. I'm going to start my presentation with a quote from Dr. Pilgrim herself. She says, "Continuing to extend the range of our scientific questions and applications will be key to furthering our field as a science and to securing its place in society." In this slide, I included some dates of when Dr. Pilgrim earned her degrees. She's actually currently a professor and associate dean at the psychology department of University of North Carolina, Wilmington, or UNCW. She's actively researching in her lab at UNCW, and the participants are primarily young children who are typically developing and children diagnosed with autism or other developmental disabilities. She's held many leadership positions as president of well-known organizations in her field. She contributes to the dissemination of information about behavior analysis through her work as an editor of major scientific journals, and she's collaborated with the health field through her research, catching the attention of scientists and practitioners in cancer prevention. She's been revered for her work in developing relational stimulus control in children. I conducted research on Dr. Carol Pilgrim through peer-reviewed articles. I will be going over each article, and I will present my 5 mock interview questions and end my presentations on the implications of her work. So the first article I'm going to go over is called Opportunities and Some Lessons Learned from a Career in Behavior Analysis. So this is actually an article that's an interview of Dr. Carol Pilgrim about her career as a behavior analyst. So she goes over her educational background. She talks in extent about her time as a graduate student at the University of Florida and how that was super influential in her career. She talks about her first career in this field, which is her current position right now as a professor. And she also goes into her contributions in the field, and at the end of the interview, she gives really good advice for students or potential students of behavior analysis. Since she is currently a professor, she kind of has that insight. So the next article I chose was some thoughts on shaping behavior analysts, a call to stay true to our roots. So in this article, she expresses her concerns with the future of behavior analysis and training of future behavior analysts. So she thinks that we need to focus strengthening training in behavior analysis generally, and she believes focusing on just one aspect of behavior analysis is limiting and will not give students the right tools they will need to be effective behavior analysts. Oh, actually, I'm going to go back to that one. So I chose both of these articles to include in my biography because both articles gave me a deeper understanding of Carol Pilgrim's viewpoints on behavior and behavior analysis and the importance of learning all aspects of behavior analysis to become an effective practitioner. So the next 2 articles I'll be going over are both about stimulus equivalence, written 20 years apart. So I chose these 2 articles because it seemed like stimulus equivalence was very influential in Pilgrim's career, as she has written several articles about this particular subject over a number of years, and I wanted to see the continuation of her study into stimulus evidence. Stimulus evidence. So the first article is titled Reversal of Baseline Relations and Stimulus Equivalence, Part 2, Two Children. So this article was based on the study of 2 college students one being Carol Pilgrim, and children between the ages of 5 and 7 years old, focusing on strengthening training and behavior analysis. So the reason why this research was conducted, or this test was conducted, was to determine the factors that affect equivalence performances when introduced to the subjects. So the results of this study were surprising, as it revealed that equivalence class performances are seemingly more disruptive in children than adults. And the next article is titled Considering Definitions of Stimulus Equivalence. So this article actually divulges deeper into the definition of stimulus equivalence, a concept that was first introduced by Sidman and Tailby. The purpose of this paper is to determine if further research should be conducted to further define equivalence. So the last article I chose was called Translational Behavior Analysis and Practical Beliefs. So I chose this article because I have interest in practical benefits of behavior analysis, and I also wanted to gain more insight into Pilgrim's view on this particular subject. So in this article, it's actually a response article written response to an article, written by Thomas S. Crutchfield about translational behavior analysis and its relation to practical benefits. So Pilgrim in this article questions to what degree can translational approaches by basic scientists sway the public and therefore translate to public support. So Pilgrim takes a closer examination at Crutchfield's stance on basic science. So my mock interview questions are: number 1, why do you think there is less interest in gaining a PhD in the field of behavior analysis? Do you think that is a detriment to the growth and future of behavior analysis? Number 2, how can the principles and practices of behavior analysis be more accessible to the general public who can benefit from it? Number 3, it seems that you value your mentorship with your students, and you've mentioned that you spend a lot of time talking to other students and faculty about behavior analysis while attending graduate school. Why do you believe collaboration is critical in the field of behavior analysis? Number 4, do your students often feel pigeonholed into becoming a BCBA? What advice would you give that student who does feel this way? And my last question is, with the growing popularity of ABA being a treatment for individuals diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, do you have any concerns with this growth and the implications it might have on the quality of care for the clients and the training staff receive? So I'm ending my presentation on the implications of her work. So Dr. Pilgrim has impacted the field of behavior analysis through various means. As an educator, she's been revered as an excellent mentor and teacher, and it is apparent as to why with her approach with her students. Pilgrim emphasizes that her students should not only learn from her, but be part of the process as collaborators. As a leader, Pilgrim has served as president for multiple major organizations and has contributed to the spread of information and behavior analysis with her work as an editor for major journals. And she, in an interview, Pilgrim talks about the opportunities she's had through her career that has given her the chance to experience, collaborate, and witness the work of other behavior analysts that she might not have experienced otherwise if she wasn't a leader in her field. So Dr. Pilgrim's work has impacted both clinical practice in her area and basic behavior analytic knowledge. She was very influential in the advancement of relational stimulus control in children and adults through her research in stimulus equivalence. And she's collaborated with the doctors at the UNC School of Medicine, where she trained medical students and nurses conducting breast examinations. And through her work in the research, she was able to draw attention from scientists and practitioners to aid in cancer prevention. So this concludes my presentation of Carol Pilgrim. Thank you.